Hey everyone, so I have a review for you this evening. It's on this funny looking contraption here, and it's called My Spring It. So it's actually a hair removal device, and it is designed to remove peach fuzz from your face. For those of you who don't know what peach fuzz is, it's just basically the down you have on your face, hair that everyone has, and usually you can only see it if you're really cold and your hairs are standing up a wee bit. But some people do have more noticeable hair than others. And, for example, like hair over the lip or maybe little tufts somewhere. I mean, oftentimes they're white. Like for me, I have a little bit of hair here, but it's completely invisible. It's completely white and I can just feel it. Or if I'm very cold, you might see it sticking out a bit. But besides that, I have a little bit of hair maybe just in this area, but because this is like my natural hair colour, it's going to be completely natural and it's not anything I'd worry about. But some people do have more hair that they would like to remove, and this could be a solution for it. So it's available from myspringit.com, and the company is called Beauty by Rachel. So it was Rachel herself who contacted me well over a month ago now at this stage, and I think I received it maybe about a month ago, and I have been putting off doing the review until now because I wanted to have a well-educated opinion before I did the review for you. And anything that involves hair removal from the root is always going to be painful, and I know it takes a while to get used to, so I also wanted to make sure I got used to it and really got used to basically the pain of it. Just for example, like anyone who's ever used an epilator, you know yourselves, you have to stick with it. It's like hell for the first few tries, and then gets a bit more bearable, and then it's usually, most people will say it's just a mild discomfort after a while, and it's worth it. So it's the same with plucking, the same with waxing or threading. You just need to get used to it, and it's the same thing with this. So basically, when I received it, I got it. It was sent in just a basic envelope, which is fine. And this, it's just a black Velcro pouch that has a barcode on the back and just says Beauty by Rachel with a little face thingy on the front. And that was it. So if it wasn't for reviews online already, I wouldn't have had an idea how to use it. But I mean, luckily I did see Makeup by Ren Ren's review on it like 2 days before Rachel contacted me, and that's actually the reason I was eager to try it out, because I was kind of intrigued when I saw the review on it. So I was that's the only thing I'd say. I was a little bit disappointed not to have been sent any instructions with it, so I did do my own research to see how to use it. So basically, to use it, all you have to do is turn it into a horseshoe shape like this, and place it against your face or wherever you want to remove the hair, and then you start rolling it up on the area. So the best way I found to do it is, when you're holding it like this, roll it out so that your wrists meet. I mean, if you roll it in, it doesn't grab anything. So you just keep going over the area where you want to remove hair until you remove enough, or whatever you want to remove. It does remove plenty of hairs, so it's a much better idea than, say, tweezing for removal of that downy hair, because it's not like on your eyebrows where you have a few prominent hairs, you have a lot of like smaller hairs, so it doesn't make sense to just get one or two at a time. However, saying that, you still need to go over the same area several times. So it's not like you'll just go over it and you have a full area gone of hair. It doesn't work that way. It just grabs several hairs at the time. You go back over it. It is very hard to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very hard to control exactly where the hairs are going to be lifted from. For me, it's just like, I'll go like this, and it could be anywhere within the horseshoe that grabs the hair. So it's not the most precise of removal. I mean, you kind of have to just have a general area in mind. Like for instance, I wouldn't go near the eyebrows with it because God knows you could remove like half of your eyebrow without meaning to. So it definitely would have to be kept just for the more down hairs, the downy hairs. I have been using this for about a month now, and it took a good maybe week or two to get used to it. First of all, the first time I ever used it, it took me a while to even know how to like just to get the knack of it, to remove the hair. And then second of all, to get used to the pain, because first time I used it, I mean, it hurt. It was a sharp pain. So I kind of just threw it away, put it in the drawer, left it for a few days, then or a couple of days, and then I went back, and it was after I had a bath or a shower. My skin was nice and soft, my pores were loosened, and I went at it again, and I found it was just much easier. Like I mentioned earlier on, it's kind of like that with any hair removal from the root. It's going to be sharp and painful until you're the area or your body gets used to it. It is a shock. And then once you become more familiar with the pain and you know what to expect, that takes away the shock value, and it kind of trains your brain to not feel the pain as much. So now I would say on a pain scale, when I first used it, I would say it was a good like 7, 8. And now I would say it's, it's still going to be painful. So I'd say it's about a 4 or a 5. But I mean, I have a fairly high pain threshold. So it's going to be different for everyone else. I mean, for instance, I don't find tattoos that bad, piercings. I love plucking my own eyebrows and stuff. So some people find some of these things unbearable. So some people might find this unbearable. Other people might find it fine. So it is going to be a personal thing. And it's something you're going to have to try out yourself, unfortunately. So it would be a case of you'd have to purchase it and find out whether it suits you personally or not. It'll set you back $15.99. That's in American dollars. I don't know. I mean, I'd say that's what, roughly a tenner in sterling and in euro at the moment. Price wise for the shipping, I have no idea, because like I said, I didn't pay for it, and it will vary from country to country anyhow. So I would just suggest contact Rachel herself through myspringit.com. I'm sure she'd be happy to give you a quote depending on where you are. It's meant to be made of, apparently it's made of hypoallergenic material. I know this from Makeup by Ren Ren, who in turn heard it from Rachel, and which is obviously a good thing. And to clean it, you're supposed to just wipe the outside of it with alcohol or some kind of sterilizing fluid. Now, the only thing I'd be concerned about there is that it's a spring, so it's a coil. The nature of the coil is that there is space in between the coil, and it's liable to get bits in between, caught in between. So I suggest only using it on a clean face. I mean, I was showing you there over makeup, but that was just for the purpose of this video. I wouldn't use it over makeup really, for 2 reasons. 1, because I don't want to get the coil dirty, and for 2, removing hair from the root is exposing where the follicle was to bacteria and maybe the dirt of the makeup or any kind of whatever is on your face, and you don't want to get that infected or maybe get spots or get some kind of bacteria in there. So definitely only use it on a clean face. Okay, so to finish up the review, I'm going to say pros. I'd say it's something that at this stage now I don't even think about doing. It doesn't take any concentration. It does remove hairs quite well once you get the knack of it, and it's it's discreet. You can just pop it in this and pop it in, like it's tiny. You'll pop it in your bag, no problem. You could probably do it while you're just waiting. Like, it's not like you need to make a big deal of it, like when you have to shave your legs or use hair removal cream. It's just quite fuss free once you do get the handle of it. Price wise, I do think it's a decent price for what you get, considering it'll last you a year. And yeah, I'm happy enough with it. Now the cons, like I said, would be it is painful. There's always going to be pain there, but that's a personal thing. You deal with it. You have to put up with it if you want to remove hair effectively from the root. It is a little painful afterwards. Like, there's a bit of a sting in it for a little while after using it. I mean, your skin is definitely a little bit sensitive, and you'll get like the tiniest bit of redness, but to be fair, it doesn't leave a lot of redness, and it hasn't caused me any spots or any irritation or anything like that. So yeah, it's not very intrusive once the deed is done, if you know what I mean. It took me a good week or two to really get the handle of it and start to see it as being, you know, being a good product and useful and worth it. So I think some people might give up before then, which is understandable. I mean, it does take a while. So I would say stick with it for a while if you do, you know, don't give up on the first few tries. Stick with it, and hopefully you'll come out the other end like me, where you are happy enough to use it and comfortable enough to use it. One thing I will say, don't use it unless you have to. The only reason I'm really using it was for the review and to really make sure I knew how it worked and what it was about. Honestly, I don't think I'd use it too often, just because I don't have very noticeable hairs on my face, and I don't have enough, like, you can kind of see the hairs here, but they're not dark enough that I want to go and mess around with them, because I think once you start removing hair, you're going to have to constantly remove hair because of regrowth. And I have spoken to people before who, you know, have waxed or whatever above their lip, and they regretted it because they said they always have to now, whereas they probably could have gotten away with not doing it before and maybe just bleaching. So be sure that you want to remove it. I mean, if you have dark hair or kind of thicker hair, it's probably going to suit you and be more free, but don't use it just because you want to try it out for no reason. Do you know what I mean? Please, yeah, that's basically it. Anyhow, I would probably rate this a good 7 or 8 out of 10. I do think it's quite a nifty little device, and you know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to use. You know, it's different from what we'd be used to, apart from the paint, of course. So that's definitely enough for me waffling. I hope this was a decent review for you and that you have an idea of it now. And if you're interested in it, go to myspringit.com. I'll leave a link to Makeup by Ren Ren and Pursebuzz's review, so you can really have a look at theirs and have a you know, a really good idea of what it's about. And yeah, I'll talk to you again really soon for another video. Thanks for watching, guys.